Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the Real Superstitions and Possible Ghosts edition.
That, well put. The superstitions are real, but the ghosts?
Possible.
Just possible. Just possible.
This is In-Betweeni 064, The Dark Side of Rainbows.
What?
And Paranormal Activity at the Playboy Mansion.
Well, I'm excited. Gosh, well, damn, I'm thrilled. I really want to hear about these ghosts at the Playboy Mansion. I had no idea. No one ever told me.
Yeah, I had no idea about these spooky little tales that we're going to get into. I'm really excited.
I'm pumped as well.
Yeah, I'm Jill Chacha, and I am with the struggling Marissa Riley.
Thank you. That's me. If by struggling you mean my voice.
Yes.
Yes, it is a struggle to speak currently. I am getting over some laryngitis. I'm totally fine. No COVID. Multiple tests were taken. However, I was left with this sexy voice.
Yes. It's super sexy.
For the weekend. So welcome to me.
Yeah. Welcome to sexy you.
Welcome to sexy laryngitis voice, Dr. Marissa, at your service.
It's gonna be 30 minutes of bliss.
Yep.
If this is your first time listening, welcome to the flock.
Welcome.
Dr. Riley here comes in cold and learns everything in real time, just like you.
It's true. I had no idea what we were going to talk about. Jill tried to give me a clue, but whenever she gives me a clue, it's like the opposite of helps. It makes things even more broad and confusing. She was like, so tomorrow we're talking about something we've never talked about before.
That's so
and
not
I was like,
that's so not helpful in any way.
Yeah, I'm like even more stressed because I'm like, well, maybe she's been talking about brains a lot or butts or something. And now I'm like, well, it's neither of those. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
So, should we get into it then?
We absolutely should.
All right, to begin.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. To begin, let's head on back in time to the magical year that was 1980.
Wow, the magic.
So much magic. We're traveling around the globe and landing in the tiny mountainside community of Tugu.
Cute. I don't know where this is, but the name Tugu is just
adorable. Yeah. So where is Tugu, you ask? Not a problem. Everyone, picture the mighty continent of Australia.
I can do that.
Okay. Now move your eyes a wee 8,500 miles northwest.
Okay.
And boom, we're looking at and standing on the Indonesian island of Java.
Oh.
Which looks a little bit like a comma.
Cute.
Think about it. Okay.
Okay.
And at the northern tip of that comma is good old Tugu.
Good old Tugu.
And I'm happy to say we're not alone. We're with Robert Blust, who at the time was a professor at the University of Leiden in the Netherlands.
Nice.
So, on this particular day, he and a bunch of fellow professor friends were outside waiting for lunch to arrive when, in proper island paradise fashion, a rainbow appeared.
Classic.
I know. And he did what any one of us would do, point to it and say, holy shit, a rainbow.
There you go. And this sounds like before iPhones.
Yes.
So before an iPhone, you couldn't take a picture of something. You just had to talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
And people had to believe you. It was really strange
That's
time.
insane. That's insane. Yeah. So one of Robert's friends, though, noted that in Sumatra, an island west of Java where they were from, it's bad luck to point at a rainbow.
I had no idea. I point at them literally all the time. I've been fucking up. I can't not point at a rainbow.
I know, it's really hard. It's
and then
really
take
hard.
40 pictures of it.
That's right.
And they're all terrible. I've never taken a good picture of a rainbow. I don't know how you guys are doing it.
Yeah.
Mine are fuzzy and just
Yeah.
rough.
Just not magical.
No.
No. Another friend from another Indonesian island in the archipelago said the same, that as a child they were told that if they ever pointed at a rainbow, that finger would break.
Are you serious? Yeah. I'm stressed.
And stay bent like the shape of a rainbow. Now this
like,
so or maybe the other way.
Oh, the other way.
who
I don't
knows?
like that. Ugh.
So this little moment and cultural exchange kind of burrowed into Robert's mind. It stuck with him throughout his stay in Java and followed him back to the Netherlands, where he decided, you know what? I'm going to go into full professor mode about this rainbow thing. I want to know if pointing at rainbows is a no-no anywhere else.
Okay.
And thus, his quest began.
Okay.
For
I thought he was going to study if it actually happened. And I'd want to go up to him and be like, Robert, put the coke down.
Yes, that's right, the 80s, man.
Put the drugs down. Nothing's
I gotta follow this rainbow, man. Come on.
I gotta see if my finger cracks next time I point at a rainbow. Robert, chill.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's looking more culturally.
Exactly.
Yes.
You got it. Yeah. No coke in this story, unfortunately.
Oh, that's fine.
So, first he combed through his university's ethnography department, looking for other cultures' stories and folklore. And wouldn't you know it, quote, the first hint that he was onto something bigger came from a report of a prohibition on pointing to rainbows in India. It did not take long for the shock to set in. He told Kenzie Cooper Ryder of Atlas Obscura, the rainbow taboo, as he would come to call the phenomenon, was not confined to Southeast Asia, end quote. So, Dr. Marissa, please tell us, where did this take Robert, and what the hell did he discover? What did he discover next, as reported by Kenzie Cooper Ryder?
I would love to tell you.
It's a fun name.
Kenzie Cooper Ryder. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. All right. Quote, Blust began. I can do this.
Take your time.
Quote, Blust began to cast a wider net. He sent questionnaires to colleagues and missionary stations around the world, inquiring about rainbows and taboos related to them. He would soon amass evidence for the rainbow taboo in some form or another in 140 cultures. Oh my God.
124.
Oh, it's fine. I have no excuse for getting that wrong. 124 cultures is still a lot. Taboos turned up in North America among the Atsugawi of Northern California and the Lakota of the Northern Plains, in remote parts of Australia and isolated islands in Melanesia, among the Nyawa of the Ivory Coast, and the Kaiwa of Brazil.
That was hard. Good, great job.
I'm just going to take a quick breath before we move forward.
A shit ton of people.
That was
basically.
a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about these rainbows. Okay, continuing the quote. At one time, it was present in Europe, too. One of the Grimm brothers noted it in his book on German mythology. The belief was not found in every culture, according to Blust Search, but it was present globally across all inhabited regions. End quote. So it sounds like everyone
Yeah. A little bit of everyone.
is stressed about rainbows.
That's right. That's right.
I got it.
Exactly.
I got it.
I did a little digging as well. And the Navajo of North America also have a superstition. According to NavajoCodeTalkers.org, if you point at a rainbow, that rainbow will cut off that their pointing finger.
Oh my God. I know. And just to clarify, all of the cultures that I mentioned and you mentioned, it all has to do with pointing at a rainbow.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. And
Exactly.
some sort of consequence.
Yes.
Not just rainbows are bad, but like if you point.
If you point to it, yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What it really brings down the room, you know? It's like,
God, explain more.
So, now the Navajo theory of pointing at a rainbow is slightly different, has a slightly different end result than the Indonesian belief, and it turns out each culture with a rainbow taboo has their own variation as to what happens. In most cases, yes, something would happen to the finger itself, like it might become bent or paralyzed. It might even fall off.
No.
There are tales of fingers withering away, rotting, or swelling up. Some fingers develop warts, ulcers. Some become eaten from the inside out by maggots.
That's okay. That's horrifying. You know, it's like I'm trying to figure out why this has started.
Yeah,
like
that's
what
a
is
good
this
question.
helping? What is this helping us? Because I mean, like it'd be one thing, like if the thing was, if you look at the sun, your eyeballs will fall out.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but it would teach children
Not to
and
stare at the sun.
people not to stare at the sun.
Those are great questions. Yeah.
But
yeah.
what did something happen to every single person where like a bird shit on them every time they pointed? I mean, I am aware that the world was quite different.
Yes.
A while back, but
Great questions. You also bring up a good point about time. We should get into that.
okay.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Tell me everything.
Okay. More about the bad shit that would happen. Sometimes the bad luck would strike someone else.
Oh, dear.
Like someone you love.
Why?
For example, in parts of New Guinea and Australia, all this bad shit would happen to your mother instead of you.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
That's ridiculous.
Now, I know what you're thinking, along with all these other questions that you just brought up. What if I'm in one of these beautiful parts of the world and catch myself pointing at a rainbow? Well, don't worry, I got you covered. Ready? This is how we take care of it.
Okay.
Now, all you need to do, in most cases, is, quote, wet the offending digit by, you guessed it, putting it into a body cavity like your mouth, anus, or belly button, or according to the Javanese version of the taboo, plunge it into a pile of buffalo dung, end quote, from atlasobscura.com.
You made it more confusing. I was hoping.
Didn't see that coming. No.
I really didn't, and I really don't understand what this is like. What is this like a plague thing? but putting it in your mouth. You should never put your finger in your mouth unless you've washed it in hot water. But
yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah. How? Yeah. We're getting to this part now. How and why would this even start? Who told who to stick their finger up their ass to make a situation better? Well, what can I say? But humans are pretty creative and love to fuck with each other. That's what I think. But Robert developed a few sound theories, and we're going to go with those.
Okay.
So, back in the day, many, many moons ago, when nature was even more mysterious and intimidating than it is now, rainbows were considered mystical, even sacred.
Oh.
They were supernatural portals to another realm. They were considered something beyond human.
That makes sense. I can see that.
And the act of pointing at someone, well, that's just flat out rude, and that even holds true today.
Yeah.
So it's possible the taboo came about because of the combination of these two things. If you stick your pointy, rude digit in the face of something otherworldly, you're going to get your comeuppance, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
So they're seeing it like a god or something, and they're like, don't point.
Don't point at that thing. We don't know.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
I got it.
Exactly. Now, Robert's investigation went on from 1980 all the way through 1998. And it seemed wherever he went, new folklore would pop up.
My God.
Yeah, that's a long time. Journalist Kenzie Cooper-Ryder was curious if these superstitions are still around today in 2021. So he got in contact with a friend that could provide a little insight. Dr. Marissa, please take us back to Southeast Asia.
I would love to. All right, quote, Nick Enfield,
You got it.
linguistic anthropologist at the University of Sydney, had previously observed the taboo while conducting fieldwork in Laos. When I, Kenzie, emailed him for more details, he asked an elderly man in Vientiane, who told him the taboo was still something the old people talk about. But Enfield notes it does not appear to be taken very seriously and may be more something one teases children about. End quote.
There you go.
Okay.
That's pretty telling. I mean, like all of us as children, we've probably heard some urban legend and we've spread that belief to new friends who go on to tell their friends about it or maybe talk about it on a podcast.
Yeah.
And there you go. The belief lives on, spreading far and wide and maybe changing a little bit along the way.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt that kid in Vientiane will get old and with the best of intentions traumatize a young child, gleefully pointing at a rainbow, and the beautiful cycle will continue.
What a beautiful cycle.
Yes.
Traumatizing children.
Trauma, that's it.
It's just...
I think that's what it came down to.
It's a global tradition to traumatize children. I get it. I
think so.
It's all come together now. I see.
After the break, speaking of getting freaked out, we're heading to LA.
Ooh.
And I hope you like ghost stories,
I
because
do.
we're gonna listen to a bunch of spooky shit.
I'm into it.
So please stay tuned.
Please do.
When Johann Rall received the letter on Christmas Day 1776, he put it away to read later. Maybe he thought it was a season's greeting and wanted to save it for the fireside. But what it actually was a warning, delivered to the Hessian colonel, letting him know that General George Washington was crossing the Delaware and would soon attack his forces. The next day, when Rall lost the Battle of Trenton and died from 2 colonial Boxing Day musket balls, the letter was found, unopened, in his vest pocket. As someone with 15,000 unread emails in his inbox, I feel like there's a lesson there. Oh well, this is The Constant, a history of getting things wrong. I'm Mark Chrysler. Every episode, we look at the bad ideas, mistakes, and accidents that misshaped our world. Find us at constantpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello everyone, Stakuyi here.
And I'm Gabby.
And we are the hosts of History of Everything, a podcast which you can probably guess by the name is, well, it's about everything. Do you want to know why people thought potatoes were evil and would give you syphilis? Are you curious about all the stories of the terrible and stupid ways that people have kicked the bucket over the years? Do you want to hear tales about all of the different badasses of history and the lives that they had brought to life? Well, if so, then look no further. History of Everything is just the right podcast for you. It's available on Spotify, Pandora, and anywhere else that you get your podcast from. Join us for some fun and just see how weird and wacky history can be.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms. So when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. And we're back.
We are so back.
We are so back. Hang in there. We're almost done. We're almost done. And we're in Holmby Hills, a small section of Los Angeles just west of Beverly Hills, California.
Fun.
Now, if the word Holmby sounds a little starchy and, well, fucking old, you're not too far off. It was developed in the early 20th century to complete what's called the Platinum Triangle of LA.
Oh my.
That being Bel Air, Beverly Hills, and of course, Holmby Hills.
Why have I never heard of it? That's
I know.
so funny.
It's very old Hollywood, and just to give you an idea about its over-the-top opulence and old Hollywood gaudy glamour, a little road called Sunset Boulevard runs through it.
Oh, I've heard of that road.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
So, also at its southern edge is a home, well, actually a mansion. It's a 22,000 square foot Gothic Tudor-style mansion that was built in 1927 and acquired by Playboy in 1971 for $1.1 million.
Fun.
Today, that would be around $7.5 million. But that's still kind of a deal when you hear about what the fuck is inside it.
Yes.
Dr. Marissa, according to the Playboy Mansion Wiki, please tell us about what's behind its many doors.
I would absolutely love to. All right, quote, the mansion has 29 rooms, including a wine cellar with a Prohibition-era secret door, a screening room with built-in pipe organ, okay, a game room, 3 zoo aviary buildings, and related pet cemetery, a tennis and basketball court, a waterfall, and a swimming pool area, including patio and barbecue area, a grotto, a basement gym with sauna below the bathhouse. Landscaping includes a large koi pond with an artificial stream, a small citrus orchard, and 2 well-established forests of tree ferns and redwoods.
Jesus.
It's a a lot. The West Wing, originally servants' wing, houses the editorial offices of Playboy. The main Avery building is the original greenhouse with 4 guest rooms adjoining. The master suite occupies several rooms on the 2nd and 3rd floor and is the most heavily renovated area of the mansion proper. Otherwise, the mansion proper is maintained in its original Gothic revival furnishings for the most part. End quote.
All right.
That's a lot of shit.
A lot of shit. You did a great job. Thanks for reading that for us.
No problemo.
Okay. Yeah, my friends, it has certainly kept its Gothic exterior, and what can I say? It's really not the most welcoming looking mansion. In fact, I'd like to show you the first photo that comes up on the wiki. And Dr. Marissa, I'm gonna pull it up here for you. Just tell me how you feel when you look at it.
Sure.
And of course, all photos will be on our Instagram, Twitter, social media stuff. So come on by and take a look at what this place looks like at night. Okay, this is one wing of the Playboy Mansion at night.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to go. That's my initial thought is I don't want to go.
This is a rough photo. It's rough.
This is not the best photo. It's, if we were to take elements away, I'd be into it. But it's basically kind of like a Gothic mansion, right? And it's got pretty vines all over it. And it's got like landscaping and little specially trimmed up bushes and like stone stairways and stuff. But the thing I really don't like about it is the lighting.
Yes, it's lit from underneath.
It's lit from underneath with these blue lights, and it's just tacky. It's like, it looks like they were trying to make it look like a nightclub, but I'm like, do maybe like white lights? I don't know, just the blue is really throwing me off.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
It's also a little unsettling because it's Gothic. It's towering. It's very pointy. A lot of triangles, so it's a little uncomfortable.
Kind of like a castle.
It's kind of like a castle, exactly. There's even like an orb in the photo. It does not help. It doesn't. Right? See it up there?
Orb?
See it right up there?
Why?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to pan back and see the entire property in the daytime this time in a separate photo. Honestly, it doesn't do much in throwing down the welcome mat, but hey, that's just this particular photo. What do you see here, Dr. Marissa? What does it make you feel?
Oh, I mean, it looks very British.
Yeah, right?
It looks like I'm in the British. I mean, like, you can kind of see the city in the back, but if you put your hand over the city part, it looks like you're in the British countryside.
Yeah,
an old manor. And it's got, I have no idea what this is called, but it's got like a
rotunda?
Rotunda, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to trust that everyone knows what that is. And if you don't look at the picture, it's like a round driveway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, when parties aren't being thrown, this vast mansion stands mostly empty. And its true vibe kind of shows through. For some of the women who lived at Playboy Mansion, they've admitted that when it's downtime, that's when the spirits show up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Did you know there's an entire TV show about some of the girls who live there?
I learned that researching this. Yes, there is. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it back when it was, I think it was on like E! Or
yes,
Bravo.
You're absolutely right.
And what is it called? I
think it was called
The Girls Next Door. And these girls, I mean...
We're going to talk about them.
Really?
Yeah.
Holly Madison, I remember, was actually very intelligent.
We're going to bring her
cool.
up. Yes.
The other two were great too, but like he had like 3 main girlfriends.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
Yes. Yeah. One of them, we're going to talk about Holly in a minute, but first we're going to talk about Bridget Marquardt.
Yes.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah, I know all of them.
That's great.
Are we going to talk about Kendra too?
Kendra doesn't come up, but I picked these two because they were recently. We'll talk about it. Okay, let's talk.
It's all coming back to me now. I remember everything. Anyways, tell me.
Am I saying her last name right? Is it Marquardt?
Bridget? I don't remember. I just remember it was like
Just Bridget.
Bridget, Holly, and Kendra.
Okay. Well, Bridget lived in the mansion from 2002 until 2009, and for her, And her most vivid experience with the unexplained happened with other witnesses around. So this is really interesting. Dr. Marissa, please tell us what Bridget told the Paranormal Activity podcast Dark House back in October, as reported by the New York Post.
I would love to quote Bridget. This is awesome. All right, quote, "One evening, my sister, myself, and my friend Stacy were all sitting on my bed. The one-time E-Network staple and Playboy bunny said, adding that she'd purchased a new puppy earlier that day. We were talking, having a glass of wine, and the TV was on. All of the sudden, out of the corner of all of our eyes, we saw a woman standing in my closet. She had long, black, stringy hair, very pale, very thin. She was wearing a white t-shirt that was too big on her and black acid washy jeans. She was just standing there, staring. She was more modern day, and I felt like I recognized who she was. Of course, when I turned to look at it straight on, it was gone." End quote. So she saw a ghost from the fucking 80s, man.
That's right, standing in her closet.
Why not? I'm into it.
This super brief encounter left Marquard's sister in tears, and her friend could only respond by covering her eyes with her hands in shock. I think the puppy was fine, so that's good.
I'm glad you said something about the puppy. I needed to.
Probably having a great time, probably.
Yeah, the best time.
Yeah. As for who the hell could have been standing in that closet, well, Bridget has an idea. Back in 2002, Bridget went to the mansion to do whatever it is you have to do when you apply as a playmate, and there she met Joni.
Oh, is this the old woman who manages everything?
That's right.
I really do remember a lot. Okay.
Yeah, Joni was, quote, a social secretary of the mansion. She was super friendly. She was kind of like the house mom. She knew all about the pets. She knew all about the girls. She was just amazing.
Aww.
I'm pretty sure it was her who was standing there, she told Dark House.
What?
And I think she came to see the new addition to the mansion, the new pet that was there, my dog Wednesday.
Aww.
End quote. So Joni, my friends, passed away from cancer shortly after Bridget got the job. And this event happened years after.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. So Bridget went on to tell the podcast smaller weird things would happen around the place, like doors that would slam or lock on their own, and visitors getting a private tour would mention feeling uncomfortable when entering the mansion's gaming quarters. And that's, my friends, that's where we're heading next.
Cool.
Sorry, I stumbled there.
All good. Take me to the gaming quarters.
All right, here we go. Dr. Marissa, I know you're struggling, so let me know if you want to read what Holly Madison, who lived there as Hefner's girlfriend from 2001 to 2008, told Nylon Magazine.
I'm going to give it a strong effort, and if I can't do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to pass the baton
All right.
on to you.
Great.
Okay, but let's get this party started. All right. Quote, "The mansion is a home that's very intriguing for so many reasons. People talk about it being haunted. There's all these weird urban legends like trafficking tunnels. It takes on a life of its own," she said. In one encounter, she was in the basement gym and saw a woman come out of the bathroom and cross in front of her and out of her line of vision. The woman was contemporary looking, wearing a hot pink sports bra and black workout pants. Madison figured she was a playmate who was doing photo tests. Madison walked around the corner to see where she had walked to and saw another door and figured she'd gone out of the way. But when she opened the door, it was just a shallow closet. There wasn't any way the woman could have exited the gym without passing Madison again. She had vanished. I never saw that woman again in my life, she says, end quote.
There you go.
Oh my God.
That's right, working out in the afterlife.
Yep. Why? Why?
So get this, Bridget and Madison also mentioned the housekeeping staff would say they felt super uneasy going into the game house and game room and would always ask for someone from security to go with them.
Weird.
Unfortunately, the ladies couldn't get much more information from housekeeping as to why, for a super shitty reason. As Madison put it, quote, "I was scared shitless that I was going to get in trouble because Hef would get pissed off if we talked to the staff.
Oh.
So I was terrified to really talk to anyone more than I absolutely had to because I was scared to." End quote.
Oh.
I know, it's fucking fucked up.
That's really fucked up. I'm sorry, Holly.
Yeah. But
And Bridget.
Yeah. But good news, Hef couldn't keep everything secret. Brian Olay wasn't a bunny, but the mansion's guest service manager for 20 years. And boy howdy, the staff told him lots of shit, and he himself experienced just as much.
Ooh, spill that tea.
That's right. Spill that tea, Olay. From the Nylon Mag article, Ghosts of the Playboy Mansion, as told by the women who live there, quote, he said he'd often hear from housekeeping staff and butlers about paranormal experiences, like hearing footsteps walking behind them in the hallways.
Ooh.
Graveyard butlers told him they didn't want to go upstairs at night because they felt a weird presence around them.
Oh my God.
Once, one of the maids told him that while cleaning the game house, the door the maid had propped open suddenly slammed shut. The jukebox started playing, and a couple of keys on the piano dinged.
That's awful. That's terrifying.
She refused to continue cleaning unless security was there.
Fair.
Yeah. Dr. Marissa, would you like to tell us what happened to him personally?
Yes. Okay. Oh my God, yes. Okay. All right, quote, one day he was waiting for a Playboy executives meeting in the library to end. So Olay
It's Olay.
Sure. So Olay could get it cleaned up for an event. When the executive left, he went to clean the library, but the door was locked from the inside. Security tried a key, but it didn't work. Olay went to talk to a security guard to confirm the exec had left through the front door. And when he came back to the door, it was open 2 inches. Every hair on my body stood up, he told Nylon. I looked over at the security guard, and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I said, you saw this too. We're not making this up. Nobody is going to believe us. What the hell just happened? End quote. It was a ghost. It was totally a ghost. It was a ghost, not an alien.
That's right.
Not an alien this time.
Not an alien this time.
Maybe next time.
Hopefully. I'm happy to report the ladies / ex-playmates of the mansion are doing very well and are not traumatized by their experience at all. Like you said, they've gone on to do reality TV shows about this time in their lives and currently have their own paranormal podcasts.
I love that they have their own paranormal podcast.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty great.
Wow, that's awesome.
Of course, let me try that again. Delete. Okay. Of course, these are all stories, and honestly, the only physical evidence of a horrifying time at the Playboy Mansion occurred in 2011, when 123 people complained of fever and respiratory illnesses after attending a Domain Fest Global Conference there.
Oh my God.
Epidemiologists from the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health traced back the outbreak of illnesses to, you guessed it, a hot tub in the mansion's famed grotto. There it was found the bacteria that causes Legionnaire's disease.
What?
So yeah, I'm just going to say it one more time. 123 people, 1 hot tub.
What a conference.
Jesus.
Oh my God. That's unlike any conference I've been to. I've never been to a conference, but I hear they're boring.
Yeah. And this one didn't end well. So, The end.
Well, way to leave me on a note where I have 1,000 more questions about the conference. Can we have a follow-up podcast about this goddamn conference?
Domain Fest. If you or someone you know is at the Domain Fest Global Conference.
In 2011.
Yeah.
DM us immediately.
Yeah.
How are you? What's going on?
How are things?
What is Domain Fest?
Yes, I have no
is
idea.
it for websites? I don't know. So I will be Googling that on my own time. Maybe I'll come back with an update on that.
Oh, that's your homework assignment.
Okay. Marissa Corner, what happened at the conference?
That's right. What happened to the hot tub? Thank you for listening, subscribing, telling your friends about the ghosts at Playboy Mansion, and to never point at a rainbow, apparently.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Or else you'll be traumatized as a kid. I don't know.
But always stay interesting.
Ugh, please do.